Welcome everyone. This is our third video in our tutorial series for the capio.systems web application. In the previous video we built some courses here in the course view and noted that there was 0 students in each of the courses. So in this video we're going to go over the Students tab and adding students to your course. For this video, we're going to be getting students from a Excel spreadsheet. Actually, not Excel, it's Google Sheets. I have this Google Sheets set up here for 3 periods, and on each sheet I have the student's first name, last name, and email address. Down here, period 1, period 2, period 3. We're going to go ahead and upload these students into the system. You do that in Google Sheets by saving the selection as a CSV file. You could also do this in Microsoft Excel. I don't use Microsoft Excel anymore, but it should be pretty straightforward to use any spreadsheet to create a CSV file. And I'll show you how to do it in this video with Google Sheets. Going back to the web application though, we're going to do 3 periods. So I'm going to create one more course. What do we have? Period 2 and period 3. So I need to create the first period Psych 101 course. The quarter 1, 2020, and give it a unique color. Okay, so there we have our 3 courses, period 1, period 2, period 3. There aren't any students in any one of them. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Students tab. This is one of the more complicated tabs, and the reason why is that there's going to be, we need to manipulate data. Each course could have a lot of students, and there's a lot of data, and so this toolbar down here, this like the Courses tab, this toolbar is to go through different views, and you can see there's some different views. But the list view has this toolbar here, which is each one of these does an operation on multiple students, and I'll show you that once we get some students in here. Similar to Courses, you can add a student individually by hitting the plus icon here, and you can edit a student. This icon here is to register your students for the courses, and similarly you can select multiple students and then use this button to register them all at once. And then obviously this is to delete a student, and you can also create an email for all your students in a particular course. But let's go ahead and start with making students the hard way. The easy way is to use a CSV file, which I'm going to show you with the Google Sheets. But let's do it the slow way here. And let's just add myself as a student. And this is really straightforward. First, similar to, you can't add spaces, you can't add funny characters, and you can't add numbers. And it also adjusts, you can't do all caps. It's going to adjust it camel case so that the first character is capitalized. So when you're typing here, you don't even need to think about your caps at all. It's going to format it the way I wanted it. Notice the email is all lowercase, even if your caps lock is on. And then it's going to give you a preview of the student here. Last, comma, then first, and then their colon, and then the email address. This right here is actually really important. So, one of the problems that you may have as a teacher is that the student gives you an inaccurate email address, or you make a mistake and type it in incorrectly. By checking this check mark here, it's going to go ahead and send an email to this email address asking the student to verify their email. It's important to do that, and before you administer tests, you want to be certain that the student has verified their email so that you can fix it before you do any testing. So yeah, let's go ahead and save this student. and it's also going to automatically send the verification email using the capio email server. It's going to, after you save it, it automatically takes you back to the list view, and you're going to see myself here, the student Matthew Clark. The red X means that he has yet to validate his email. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and go to my email so I can grab that verification link. And here it is right here. So the student gets this email. You may want to announce to your class that these emails are going to be coming out. I suggest you tell them to check their spam folder. It is possible it could show up in their spam folder, but just let them know that they should see this, because they might not know what capio is, and this link is kind of scary looking, but it's not. It's Anyway, so they click on it and they get a success message. And when we navigate back to the application, if I hit the refresh button here, you're going to see that red X will change to a green check mark, and now the teacher knows that the student has been verified. Okay, so moving on, let's register. Well, I guess we should go over the edit button real quick. That's really similar to the course. You click the edit button. If you click on this one, it's gonna take you directly to this particular entry in the database. If you click on this one, you'll have to scroll to the particular student that you want to edit. So anyways, we'll click on that. You can come in here and make any changes that you need to. If you did make a mistake with the email address, you can resend the verification link to the student. Notice the update button is disabled here, but once I make a change to one of the fields, the update button will be available. Click the send verification. Anyways, I'm not going to make that change. We're going to cancel out of this screen. But let's go ahead and add Matt Clark to one of our courses. So we click this button here, and this is our student registration form. Actually, I want to go back and tell you one last thing. You can see that this is a link here, but anytime you see the student's name, that is a link to email the student. So if I were to click on this, it's going to open up your email client, and you can email that student. So that's a good thing. That's a really useful thing that you want to remember. But anyways, let's go ahead and register him for a course. In this drop-down menu, you're going to see all three of our courses. You select the course. It's going to give you a confirmation dialog box. Just click OK, and then you'll see the course down here. When you go back here, you'll notice now there's only 2 courses because he's already registered for period 1. If you go back to the list view now, you're going to see that there's a blue dot next to his name to indicate that he is registered for that particular course. So let's go ahead and register for another one. You can see how the dots stack up. Now he's registered for the blue one and the red one. Go to the list view, and you're going to see 2 dots. Okay, so let's get going here on the CSV file. So this right here is is the view that you want to use to upload a .csv file. This is telling you the format of the file. So the format should be the first name, the last name, and then the email in that order. So if we go to our CSV file and take a look how I set it up, we have our 3 periods. These are all the students in the first period. These are the students in the second period, and these are the students in our third period. And you'll note that the columns are organized in the format that's required by the system, which is first name, last name, and email. So let's go ahead and create our first CSV file for period 1. So you go ahead and select all the students. I should say one more thing before we get going here. It's possible that you may have a student, well, obviously, if all the courses are Psych 101, but let's say you're teaching, Psych 101, and you also taught a PE course. It's possible that you could have the same student in both courses. In that case, one of the requirements for the student is that they have a unique email address. You could have two students with the exact same name, and the system will be okay with that, but they can't have the same email address. And so when you use the CSV file upload, it's important not to duplicate the students. So if, let's say Matthew Clark was in your period 1 class and your period 2 class, I would just pull them out of the CSV list and manually enter that student. You're going to run into problems if you try to upload a CSV file and the student is already in the system. Okay, so it's important that all these students are unique students and are new students if you're going to use the CSV upload. So like I said, repeating myself here, if Matthew Clark is in period 1 and period 2, just pull him out and add Matthew Clark the manual way that I just showed you how to add the student. So let's go ahead and make our first CSV file. I select the students. I go to File. Let's dismiss this. What is it here? I haven't done this in a while. Let's see. Download, comma separated values. Current sheet. I guess you don't need to select. You don't need to select them. It's going to do the whole sheet. So File, Download, comma separated values. Show in folder. Oh, I have too much garbage in here. Let's see here. There it is down here, students. Okay, you might not be able to see that. That was off the screen here. But anyways, it downloaded that to my computer. We'll go back to upload CSV, navigate to my downloads. Here it is, student period 1 CSV. Hit open. And then it says success, added 19 students. Notice that I did not have send verification email to students checked. That's because these are just bogus students and the emails aren't correct, and I don't want to have my email server send out a bunch of bogus emails. But you would have this checked, and all those students would automatically receive an email to validate their email. I hit OK. If I go back to the list view, you're going to see here all those students that were just created. So you might think that, well, let's go ahead and add our period 2 students. I don't recommend doing that. I think we need to handle these students right now and get them registered for the period 1 course, just because you don't want this to fill up with a bunch of students and have them all mixed and have difficulty registering them in group. So one of the things we can do here that's useful is I want to get rid of Matthew Clark here. He's not in the period 1 class. All the other students are in the period 1 class, and so a real easy way to get rid of Matthew Clark, obviously, it's not that big of a deal to exclude him from the selection, but if there was multiple students here that were not in the period 1 class, what we could do is we can go here to our filter and filter by unregistered students. When you select unregistered students, it's only going to show you students that are not registered for a course. So I hit apply here, and notice this filter shows up here. It's saying that these aren't all the students, that these are only the unregistered students. And now we have all of our students here that are in our period 1 psych class, and so we can click this button to select all of them. Okay, so now they're all selected, and we can click this button to register them for the first period psych class. So I select that, I submit it, hit OK. This takes a little bit of time. The database is crunching here. And notice they all disappeared. Okay, the reason why they all disappeared because we just registered them for a course and we have this unregistered filter. So if I go ahead and remove that filter, you'll see that the students will show up here and that they have the blue course next to them indicating that they're registered. So at this point, I think it's important to go back to the courses view and show you something that's really useful. So if we go back to our courses view, we'll see that our first period psych class has 20 students registered. And then that psych, this is me, the Matthew Clark, that when we registered. So if you want to really quickly create a filter and just look at the roster for our first period psych class, we can click on this here. It's going to automatically navigate us to the Students tab. It's going to add that filter for the class, and you can see that the students here are just the students in our first period class. If you don't like the filter and you want to see all the students in the system, also note this number right here is telling you how many students are in this list. If we get rid of the filter just by simply clicking on this, now we have it's going to show all the students, which coincidentally is the same in our particular case here. Let's do that again just to show you how that works. So with this psych, the second period class, we registered Matthew Clark for 2 classes. You can see that he's here by himself. If we click on it, it's going to show us Matthew Clark, who's registered for the red course, show you the filter. If we're done with this filter view, we can go ahead and close it, and it's going to give us all our students again. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and let's load up our second period class. So we go to our Google Sheets, go to our second period class, File, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Download. Download CSV. Downloaded. Go back to our app. Go here to the upload. Upload CSV. Here's our second period students right here. Open. Success. Added 20 students. Now when we go back to our list view, now we see we have 40 students in the system here. And once again, that's, if you had to go through and individually add these ones to the second course, that would be, that wouldn't be very convenient. So we're going to do what we did last time and go to our filter and filter our unregistered students. Hit apply. Remember, you have to hit apply here. Sometimes I forget to do that. You see that we've got the filter up here. It's going to automatically, it automatically takes us back, and now we can just see our unregistered students, and we know that these are our students in our second period. So let's select all of them. Hit this button to register them. Select the second period psych class. Hit submit. Oh, this is just a confirmation. Good. It took them a while. So once again, they all disappeared because now all of our students are registered. If we remove the unregistered filter, you can see here that we have all our students, some of which are in our first period class and some of which are in our second period class. If we go back to the courses view, we'll now see that the second period psych class has our 20 students that we uploaded CSV plus Matthew Clark, who was added manually. If we want to just work on this particular group of students, we could hit this button here. It'll take us to the students list view, and now you're seeing only the students that are in the second period class, and you know that because of this filter tag here. This shows you that there's 21 students, and so we can do something that's really nice here is, we can select all these students, and then we can click this email button, and it'll open up your email client, and it'll have all those students' emails in there ready to go, so you can send the class you can communicate with your class in a group email really efficiency with this application. I'm using a Linux machine right here, and I don't have my email client set up, so I'm not going to actually show you that. But it works out of the box on your cell phone. We can unselect all the students here. We can remove the filter so that we have all our students listed. And I think that pretty much shows you the gist here. Let's go ahead and do, since we have 3 courses, let's just get them all in there. This is our period 3 group. I'm going to download the CSV here. I'll show you how quickly you can actually do this. Let's go ahead and filter or upload CSV period 3. Added 6 students. Let's go filter. Let's filter our unregistered students. Hit apply. It's going to automatically take us back to list view and just show us I think it's 6. Yeah, so these are the 6 unregistered students. Let's select them all, hit the register button, and register them for our 3rd period. And they disappeared. So we go to courses now. We see that there's the 6 students in our 3rd period psych course. We can click on it, get our filter, and just see those 6 students. Select all of them, send them an email. You could delete them all, and you could register them all for another course if you wanted to. That would be an unlikely scenario. Typically, there might be one of these students in here. Let's just say, for example, John Bonham was not only is he in your 3rd period course, but he's in your 2nd period course. We could just select John Bonham here and register him for the 2nd course. And now you see he has the red dot also. Let's see if there's anything else here. Let's go ahead and just show you the edit button, how you can scroll through all your students. Notice the filter is kind of sticky here, so the reason why there's only 6 students that we can scroll, so we can scroll through 6 students, but right now you only have access to your psych filter. If I go ahead and close this, this will change to a 46, and now we're actually scrolling through all of the students that are in the system. If for some reason a student hasn't validated their email address, you could come in here, you could find that particular student, you could hit send verification email, and you can send it to them again. But I'm going to hit cancel. And I think that's it. I think that pretty much covers students. Yeah. So, I think the next video is going to be on our questions. We want to start creating exams, and exams are groups of questions, and so we'll get into the questions tab. Anyways, thanks for checking out our videos. We'll see you at the next one.